Good morning and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining us today. Absolutely love it. I had my book upside down, but thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Story Time. I am glad you're here. Happy Friday. Merry Christmas to you if you do celebrate. Happy holidays to everybody that is joining in today. And whatever observations that you do, please do enjoy them and do so safely. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. And we are reading a very special book today, and this one is From My Window, and it is written by Otavio Jr., illustrated by Vanina Starkoff, and translated by Beatriz C. Diaz. Good morning to you and welcome to Storytime. And this one is published by Barefoot Books. And a big thank you as always to all the publishers and of course illustrators and authors that have allowed us to share amazing material right here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you're ready for this one today. From My Window. What do you see from your window? Good morning to you and welcome to Storytime. And remember, today we have the Christmas special starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So if you can join us for that one, please do. It's a double read. Do check out the Storytime platforms for all the details. But we're starting that one at 5 p.m. Get your drinks, get your food, get everything that you need ready so you can join us for that double reading today. We will be reading Construction Site on Christmas night and also Bear Stays Up for Christmas. So do join in for those. But for now, of course, we will be reading From My Window, written by Otavio Jr. and illustrations by Vanina Starkoff. I hope you are ready. Thank you so much for joining us on this Christmas morning. Good morning to you. I hope your Christmas Eve went well, and I hope today goes extra special for you. Good morning to you. Please let us know, as always, where you're joining us from and who indeed is joining in with you. Thank you so much for being here with us. Let us see who is here with us this morning. Christy Kerm, good morning to you. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining us. And Christy, please do remind us where you're joining us from and who is joining in with you today. Rob Aids, good morning to you. Merry Christmas to you. Maya, Merry Christmas. Anna, and of course Casey, good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Camille, good morning to you. How are you doing today? Good to see you here on this beautiful Friday morning. Thank you so much for joining in. Ellen Edwards in Chicago, Merry Christmas to you and welcome to Story Time. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope Chicago is not too cold today. Thank you for joining in. Laura Bennett, good morning to you right here close by. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you are here, Laura. Thank you for joining us, and of course, happy holidays to you. Good morning to you, Camille, and you say Merry Christmas. Absolutely not. Love being here. Jayada, Marco, and Santiago, good morning to you. Absolutely love it that you're here. I'm glad that we're able to spend this day together. Merry Christmas to you indeed. And I hope you are doing well. Thank you so much. Camille, Jayada, Santiago, and of course Marco. Thank you so much. Baby Marco, how old are you now? Thank you for joining in. Ellen Edwards, you saying sunny Chicago today. Absolutely love that. I am glad it is sunny. I hope you're enjoying it. Merry Christmas to you. Good morning to you, Tudor and Madalena in San Francisco. Absolutely. I will see you later at 5 p.m. for the Christmas special. So please make a date with me for that one. And of course, we have this great book right here, From My Window, that we'll be enjoying right now. Good morning to you. Rob Aids, you say Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining in. A big hello to you and your family. And of course, thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Marco, 6 months old now. My goodness, getting big every time. Thank you for joining in, Marco. I hope you enjoy this beautiful story. All right, so we will be getting started to read and let people get to their leftovers, get to their breakfast. But I hope you enjoy this beautiful book written by Otavio Jr. and illustrated by Vanina Starkoff, and of course it is called From My Window, and we're reading this one with permission of Barefoot Books. Good morning. All right, so let's start. Before we go into our book, I actually wanted us to read just the back and see where this book is based. And so it says, from my window, I can see thousands of stories. Inspired by his own childhood in a favela in Brazil, Otavio Jr.'s poetic story celebrates the diversity of this unique urban community. And of course, we'll be reading more about what a favela is later on at the end of the story. So do stick around for that. And then we'll also be reading a little bit of insight from Otavio Jr. himself. But for now, we're going to get started with our story, From My Window. Written by Otavio Jr. and illustrations by Vanina, Starkoff, and of course, translated by Beatriz C. Diaz. And this one we're reading with permission of Barefoot Books. From my window, I see a lot of bricks and patched roofs. I see people everywhere. I love the colorful illustrations of this. When it's too hot, some people bring the sea to their homes to make the day cooler. Oh, I want to do that. When night falls, I see many lights and fireflies flashing in the darkening paths. Sometimes when it rains a lot, a rainbow visits my shack and turns a gray day into a bright one. I want to see the end of the rainbow, not for the treasure. I want to solve a mystery that's worth more than gold. From my window, I talk to my friends. Talking that starts a game. Our telephone game turns into funk, turns into rhyme, turns into poetry. From my window, I hear sounds that make me very sad. Sometimes I can't go to school or play ball outside. From my window, I close my eyes and imagine the empty field full of people. People who dream of scoring an incredible goal on the packed Maracanã Stadium. From my window, I see the sunrise. I see people everywhere. People patching roofs that broke in the rain. People searching for their treasures. People carrying books, going to school. From my window, I see my favela. What do you see from your window? The end. I hope you enjoyed that one. I certainly did. And I just wanted to quickly just read in the back so we could understand a little bit about what a favela is if we didn't know. And this one says, what is a favela? A favela is a special type of district in Brazil. Favelas are not managed by the government like other areas. Instead, the people who live in favelas are in charge of them. 1 out of every 5 people in Rio de Janeiro, one of Brazil's largest cities, lives in a favela. Because favelas are not connected to the government, it is difficult for residents to get resources like running water or electricity. This makes some people think that favelas are poorly built. But in fact, most favela homes are built of strong materials like brick, concrete, and steel. The favela in this book is based on Complexo do Alemão in Rio de Janeiro, where author Otavio Jr. grew up. While it is known for having problems with violence, there are many other parts of life in the favela. Brazilian funk, also called favela funk, is a type of music that originated in favelas. Football, called soccer in the United States and Canada, is also popular in favelas. Complexo do Alemão is about 5 miles away from Rio's Maracanã Stadium, which has held crowds of over 150,000 people watching football matches. And as you might know, that was the venue for the 2014 World Cup final. And just one of the things again from Otavio, he says, from my window, I can see thousands of stories and I wish to hear them, tell them and help them be heard. I live to tell stories mostly about the favela, which is a whole world inside a city with its language, culture and traditions. A book saved me because I believe in magical power of literature and I want the favela to be immortalized in it. When Otavio was a child, he used to carry around a suitcase full of books to help the kids in his favela. In 2011, he opened the first permanent children's library in Complexo do Alemão. How inspiring is that? So yes, indeed, no matter where our children are growing, let us remember to inspire them, to encourage them, to keep them growing and make sure that we are getting them ready for life ahead. And of course, we can see from this inspiring young person, Otavio Jr., he has given us a glean into that window. So do celebrate where you come from. Do celebrate your roots. Do celebrate your neighbors, your friends. Yes, indeed, it is what shapes us in life. Thank you so much. I appreciate my own neighborhood of Rhodes Park in Lusaka, where I grew up. And of course, my friends who I laughed with, got laughed with, got in trouble with, just played around the whole day. And of course, played soccer together. And that shaped who I am. So I encourage you out there to keep being inspired, keep celebrating where you're from, keep celebrating your roots. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. I hope you enjoyed that one. That was indeed From My Window, and that one is written by Otavio Jr. and illustrated by Vanina Starkoff, and of course translated by Beatriz. And of course, we were reading this one with permission of Barefoot Books. A big appreciation to all the publishers and illustrators and authors and creators out there that have allowed us to share amazing material right here on Storytime. Thank you so much for joining in today. This has been a week where we've celebrated kids, their resilience and everything, their beauty, their presence. They make this world what it is, and we appreciate that so much. So please let us make sure that we are giving every child out there an opportunity to succeed. Thank you so much for joining in, and of course do join us next week for more stories. But remember, tonight 5 p.m. Pacific time, if you're able to join in, we have 2 stories for you: construction site on Christmas night and bear stays up for Christmas. Do join us for that Christmas special. It will be right here on Storytime platforms, right here on our Facebook page, but we will also be on our YouTube channel. So do join us on either of those platforms and enjoy great stories and a great evening on Christmas together. Thank you so much for joining in today. I hope you enjoyed that one, and I wish you and your loved ones a very beautiful day. Let us see who else is with us today, this morning, enjoying that beautiful story from my window. Good morning to you one more time, Madalena, Ian, and Tudor. Good morning to you out in San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time today. Rob Aids, Merry Christmas to you. Maya, Casey, and Anna, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you're here. Happy holidays to everybody. And yes, indeed, happy winter break to all the kids that are out there enjoying their break. Thank you so much. Marco, 6 months old. Thank you for joining in. How are you doing today? Lizzie Lynette, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Nahia Torres, good morning to you as well. Please let me know where you joined us from and where you were and who was joining in with you. Thank you so much for joining in Story Time. Martha Ashley Mlenga, good morning to you. Merry Christmas as well. Thank you for joining us from Zambia. Thank you so much. And Lusungu, good evening to you as well. How are you doing? Martha and Lusungu, thank you for joining in story time today. Merry Christmas from Sarah and Nathan in freezing Illinois. Good morning to you. Amanda West, thank you so much for joining us today. Happy holidays, you say. Irene, thank you so much for joining us today. Irene, good morning to you. Thank you for joining in. And you say that, oh, absolutely. I love reading. I love being here on story time and sharing time with you. Thank you so much, Irene. Have yourself a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Rob Aids, thank you. Absolutely welcome. Have yourself a beautiful day. I hope you enjoy every second of it. Thank you so much for joining in. And of course, Christy Kerm, you're joining in from Minnesota. Thank you for the reminder. It's all coming back now. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you. Thank you. Lorata Chisomo, how are you doing today? Chikondi Temwani and Kondwani, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in story time. And you say Merry Christmas to you all the way from Zambia. Absolutely love it. And you know what I miss about Zambia right now on Christmas Day? The rice, the chicken, mongo rice, nakonde rice. I miss that so much. I wish I could have it right now. Thank you for sharing. Good morning to you one more time. Chekondi, Temwani, and Kondwani, and of course, Lerato Chisomo. Thank you so much for joining in. Terry McLeod and Abraham right here in San Leandro, you say happy holidays to everybody. No, you are not late. You are on Zambian time. You are absolutely fine. I hope you do catch the recording later on. And of course, I hope to see you when we're doing our Christmas special at 5 p.m. tonight. So please do join in for that. Abraham, good morning to you. You are doing great. Thank you so much for joining in. Mase Derina in Chirundu, Zambia. Gamamba Basa, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining in. Good to see you here, my niece there. Good morning to you. Sonia Abrantes, you say Merry Christmas, Bonyata. All right. Thank you so much for joining in. Zhao Tiago, absolutely appreciate you. Thank you for joining in story time today. I hope your day is off to a great start. Absolutely. And of course, we were reading about the favela today, and we're reading about an amazing, inspiring person. And this story was from My Window, written by Otavio Jr. and illustrations by Vanina Starkoff and translations by Beatriz. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining in story time. Aurelia Lee, thank you so much for joining in. I am glad you are here. Merry Christmas to you. To everybody that was joining in story time today, I hope you're having yourself a beautiful day where you are, a great start to your day, and I hope you have an even better day as the day goes on. And of course, remember, if you can join us for the Christmas special at 5 p.m. Pacific time today. Thank you so much for joining in story time. Much love from me as always, and I will see you right back here 5 p.m. Pacific time. You can also stream us on the YouTube channel, so do join us then. But for now, it is bye-bye, and of course, much love. See ya.